Good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Ophelia's allotment. It is Monday, the bank holiday Monday in August. So what is it, the 27th, Al? Yeah, 27th. So I've made 3 videos and not uploaded them. So I am going to upload this one today, I promise. So we are at what we call the baby plot, which is our little half plot by our house. We're getting some jobs done today. The ground is lovely and wet, so it's perfect for weeding. So for this top bed here, I've just pulled out all the borage before it set seed, because loads of it came up this year and it's just smothered everything. And as lovely as it was for the bees, we can't have that much borage. My dahlia is finally flowering. This is dahlia poo. It doesn't look very impressive, does it? It's been earwigged, I think. But there's loads of buds on there. I grew that one for my dad. It reminds me of my dad. So rhubarb's starting to pick up, although that needs a load of manure in it to really get it started next year. Need to get down and get out all the little weeds in here. The blueberries, despite the rabbits having a good go at them at the other plot before we move them in their pots, they are actually coming back nicely. So hopefully they will fruit in a year or so. The apple tree didn't fruit this year, but I didn't expect that because we moved it at completely the wrong time of year. But it has put on loads of new growth, and we do need to retrain these branches so that it is the weeping willow shape again. Oh, down here is everything I've taken out. I need to put it in the wheelbarrow. So I've also taken out loads of the comfrey, left the one stem that's still got flowers on, because that was overshadowing the gooseberries, and I don't want that to die off. So what's going on here is, oh god, it's all of it. Try not to fall over. My brother, thank you, has given us a little greenhouse. It's not big, it's not brilliant, but it will do the job. We've got some gorgeous peppers, bell peppers, and heirloom peppers at home. They're called kabachi peppers, and they look like chilies. They're really thin and they curl, but they are actually sweet peppers, and they're formed fantastically. But we need somewhere to give them a bit more heat to ripen off now. So in here, the herb bed, the feverfew, wormwood, woad, and tansy and all that, they've done really, really well. And I planted some squash on the ridge of this, what was going to have as the pond, and they've taken off, but they haven't produced a single fruit. Absolute waste of time. The cleome, they're okay. They're nothing compared to the ones that I grew at home. And our giant sunflowers, as you can see, are far from giant. In fact, when the greenhouse is up, I'm going to take these heads off and I'm going to put them in the greenhouse to dry off, so we can save the seed for eating or for the birds. Look at this. See, that's the beauty of having wet ground at last. You can just pull the weeds out by the roots. So again, these 2 squash I don't think that one's put any fruit on. Oh, it's got a baby fruit. We've got a baby fruit. Look. I think that is a baby boo, which is a little, like, miniature white squash. And this one does have something on. There you go. A very weak attempt at a Turk's turban, but it's all food, isn't it? The tomatoes, because of the heat we've had, they're the one thing that have really produced really well. Now, they don't look much because I haven't been fantastic at tying them in. And the weight of them has really pulled a lot of them down, because these tomatoes, these are Roma, they're massive. I'll show you, I'm going to put a picture in here, just after I finish telling you. We have been harvesting and saving our Roma and our big heritage beefsteak tomatoes, and made an absolutely amazing passata. So I'll put a couple of pictures in here to show you what it looked like. So there you go. That's it's our second batch of passata that we've made. The first one, I was too impatient and I used loads of cherries tomatoes and it was a bit watery. Still tastes fantastic, but you know. These ones are prone to leaf curl. There's no blight, but what I need to do is I need to go through and start taking back the foliage on them now, so it gives everything a chance to ripen, because we have got really damp weather and it's going cool at night. So it is blight season. Blight is I love it. blight is going to strike probably at any point. So the tomatoes on this side have done really well too. I mean, this Christmas grapes, can you see this? It's not a bush variety and it's not a cordon variety. It's like a mix, like a semi-bush. So keeping it kind of in check is a bit difficult, but it's worth it. These are my favourite tomato. They're slightly more acidic than like a normal tomato. They're not very sweet, so I like those. The curry squash is dying back now. It's got powdery mildew, and the plant is just dying back naturally. It only produced one, but I may take this today. But if you can tell when your squash is ready to harvest, because the neck here, you can see, it starts to go a bit browner and crack a little bit. So that's when you know that it's ripe. It's not going to get any bigger than that now. And also you can test by pressing your nail in to the skin, and it doesn't really make a mark, it doesn't make an indentation. So we know that that's good to come out. Again, that plant only produced one, and then the other plant in there has only produced one big Turk's turban. That is a long way to go before that ripens yet. So I've put it on here because the ground is quite damp now and I don't want it to rot on the bottom. So sweet corn, surprisingly, considering how late it was, it has actually done really well. Now, I might have a look at a cob. See, as you can see, I've been checking them a bit, and they've pollinated very, very well. And see, that's a nice yellow. Let's take that. Let's take it. So to harvest your sweet corn, you just grab the cob and push it away from the plant, and just there you go. So that's a nice sweet corn. Let's see if I can pull this down a bit further. Yeah, happy with that. That's good. And the ends, I just chop the ends off anyway, so if that's not perfectly ripe at the top, I don't mind. I don't like them when they're really, really bright yellow because they're more starchy. So I like them when they're just like that. So in a bit, I may go through and see if there's any other ones ready as well. And if I do, I'll show you at the end what harvest we got. So our dwarf beans have been producing quite nicely, despite a couple of, one instance where someone came around and helped themselves to a full harvest, which was a bit infuriating. And somebody did that to all my ripe tomatoes as well, especially my black zebra heirloom ones, which I was really waiting for. I was out and going to pick them tomorrow. Come up tomorrow, they're not there. So I've had words around and nobody seems to know anyone who it would be. But of course they won't, will they? I've been summoned to the child. One moment. What are you watching? What are you watching?
Doctor Who.
Pardon?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. Madam is obsessed with Doctor Who. And we came prepared today and brought the laptop up with us so that we could actually get an extra hour or so. Anyway, back to the beans. Okay. So yeah, dwarf beans have done really well, and we are ready to take another harvest from those today. And they're really nice. In between here, this was a path, which we didn't need. It was too wide. We can still shuffle down either side to harvest the beans. And there was carpet laid underneath it, so we pulled all the carpet up and we sorted all the ground. And then from one of the old potato pots that we harvested, we just dumped that compost down, and we put in some spring onions here that they were already grown in modules, so we planted them in bunches so we can pull a bunch at a time. I put some new spring onion seeds down here, and these are all little turnips, and we've got some bright lights chard, and right at the end we've got some perpetual spinach. So that's this area, and again we really need to weed. I've got another potato plant coming up. Oh, one moment. Yes? Pardon? Oh, I've got to go and sort the DVD, hang on. Right, and off we go again. So, yes, volunteer potato, which I'll just take the head off it so it doesn't interfere with these. We've got some beetroot here, and then there were some later module ones that I've put in as well. Over here, marigolds are doing really nice. They've been lovely this year. And these I believe we got 2 types of beans, well actually 4 types of beans that we put in for like autumn planting. I believe these are rock and core. They've got little yellow beans forming. And the flowers are beautiful. I wasn't expecting those. So we've got just 2 plants there together. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 rock and core plants. And the plan is, if we like the taste of them, we will have like enough for one meal, and then we're going to let them go to seed and then save the seed for next year, because I don't have many of them. So we put in some rows of lettuce here, and quite densely grown, but that's fine for what we need. And these are some cut and come again lettuces here. And then here we have some purple beans. These are purple queen, I think. Which again are for us to try, see if we like them. If we do, we'll let them go to seed. The cucumber is finally producing again. In the really high weather it just stopped producing, and anything that was on it whilst the drought, it tasted disgusting. They were so bitter. And we watered as much as we could, but it was horrible. There is a squash in here that has produced nothing. It's got another baby on there. It's sweet dumpling, but whatever. And there's another cucumber plant on the end. It's looking quite sickly actually, but it does have cucumbers on, so I'll give that a feed, I think. Some more tomatoes here and some lettuces that are starting to heart up, so nice. Beetroot, I'm going to take some of these today, and these will be for pickling. I've had some rogue white ones in here, so I'll take those and see what they're like. There's a few of them actually. So they've got rather than the red leaves, they've got white ones, and the bulb is white as well. So it's interesting. I want to harvest a good sized nice beetroot and then leave it and try it, like store it in some sawdust or something over winter, and then plant it again next year and get some seeds from it, because I'll get through a lot of beetroot. So if those are the rock and core beans, these are the cannellini, and again we'll be saving seed from them for next year. So these are more for seeing if we like them and then gathering more seed. Over there there's some white icicle radish and a couple of little beetroots. The squash bed here, I mean, this has got 5 plants in it. You wouldn't guess, would you? Not much there at all. But we've got a baby festival squash, another curry squash, and another curry squash there. And this is a little gem, and it goes by its name because it's not grown any more than that in about 2 months. It's like the size of a cricket ball, tiny. I think that's all we've got on all of those plants. Some French breakfast radish here, which have been really, really nice. Never grown the French breakfast variety before. I'll just put that here. I'll clean that up and have a munch in a minute. Yeah, but they're very nice. I like those. You've got loads of parsley, which we've been making nice parsley sauce, and 1 courgette plant, which has produced a grand total of 5 courgettes. 5 over the summer. We thought we'll only plant 1 because they're so prolific. Yeah, they're not. Well, at least this one wasn't. These beans, you can't see the label. Oh, these are Ventures climbing beans, which produce lovely like red kidney beans that we are collecting for shelling. Nice dry one. If you're collecting for shelling, you can harvest them at 2 stages. One when they are kind of still a bit soft, not completely dry, but they've obviously turned and you can feel the good beans in there. And then those ones you can just freeze straight away, and you can chuck them straight into casseroles and curries and all things like that. You don't have to leave them to soak. But if you leave them to dry, like this, hang on. Right. Here you go. Oh, I lost it. I lost it. Oh. This camera drives me nuts. Why doesn't it focus on anything that I want it to focus on? Anyway, you can kind of make out there's a bean there and it's purple and it looks like a kidney bean. So there you go. So that's what they're all drying for. The ballottis we've already had off. They dried really early this year. Oh, I've just found a bunch of baby runner beans. Lovely. But the runner beans, because it's been so dry, one, we had very few because they didn't set. And then what we did get, even when they were young, were really tough and hard and not very nice at all. So I've picked a couple at like this stage, they're like palm size, and they've been okay. But to be honest, we're not getting that many of them now, so I may just leave those go to seed as well and just eat them up. Here is something I've just finished today. We had 2 rows of potatoes in here and they were Nicola and they produced awful crop. We had a couple of volunteer potatoes come in, which I think were Rooster, the red ones, and they produced better by them couple of plants than 2 rows of Nicola. So, but yeah, in here I've put in some brassicas. I'd love to tell you what they are. They're either cauliflower all year round or greyhound cabbage. I'm not sure. I'm just rubbish, aren't I? We put in a very, very late sowing of sweet corn because I had loads of seed left over. They are actually, the flowers are producing on them now. If we get some nice late sun, we may get some extra sweet corn. And if we don't, it just cost me the packet of seed which I got in the sale last year, so it's not the end of the world. There's loads of weeds in here though. This is like dandelion corner, so this is going to need some serious attention when they come out. These beans are Canadian Wonder, and they produce, unlike the Ventures Climbing that produce little kind of kidney beans, these produce big fat type of kidney beans, and they are again just for saving for beans. I don't think we've got many squash down here either, unless there's stuff hiding that I don't know about. I know that we do have 2 gorgeous festival squash in here. Those two there. And they've been really nice. And then there's a couple of new baby ones forming on the end. So hopefully we'll get those. And here we've got another curry. Sorry, the cap's swinging, isn't it? But that again, that's not very big. At the big plot, we've got a good size Muscade de Provence, I think it is, which is like a big pumpkin, but it's Cinderella kind of style, you know, the big ridges in it. It looks beautiful. So here we have this pot and the one on the end. One of them is Valor and one of them is King Edward. Still going strong, we're just leaving them in there to get on with it. And then we've got 3 pots of new potatoes, which I think are Aaron Pilot, which are our Christmas potatoes. So here are the leeks, and they've been decimated. Absolutely. In fact, should we do something? Let's try this. This is which should we pick? One that looks particularly gruesome. Let's take this one. This is what happens when you don't net your leeks and you live in the Midlands. Right. Let's put that here. Can you see all these little holes in it? This is the allium fly grub, and they burrow into any alliums, and you may think you have, eventually after they've stopped burrowing, the plant will recover and it will put up new shoots, and you think, oh, it's okay, I've got a nice leek or something there. But what they've done is they burrow down into the part that's below the ground, and you get these horrible bugs inside. The telltale sign when you do come to harvest them will be that you'll get these brown stripes on the outside, and it's just gruesome. So we put in those ones. I think they're all shot. I don't think I've got any chance of getting anything decent out of those. I've put in a late sowing of some there, and if you can see these hoops in the fleece, we're going to fleece them. I don't know if it's even too late for that, but it's worth a shot because, you know, I'd like some leeks. So Brassicas, we've just moved the cage inwards a bit because it was too large and we couldn't get the green netting to go all the way around, and we didn't need the all that space for them. So they're not brilliant, but they're doing all right. I think these ones are cauliflower with the whitefly. We've got some whitefly, but it's not as bad as last year. Last year was awful. So I think these are cauliflower. Those ones are broccoli. We've got something there. Might be purple sprouting broccoli. Some red cabbage. Some other broccoli. I don't know what they are. This year has been the biggest disaster in all of our... Come here, you little blighter. Go on, go and play over there. With all the labels getting mixed up because the chickens attacked loads of plants, the daughter knocked loads of them over. It was just tomatoes and brassicas and that were just all mixed up. So the red kale is looking lovely. And we've got a couple of kale plants there. We need to get the net back around because that one's been stripped by the pigeons already. So yeah, that's the brassicas so far. They're a bit far apart, to be honest. These ones are planted a bit closer together, and next year we'll plant them a lot closer together. So that's where everything is right now. It's okay. I mean, it's certainly producing well, considering the horribly hot summer that we've had, which has been lovely but not good for growing food. We have plans to, from where this bed is here, down, I think it comes down to that second row of beans there, and this full width of this bed. We're building our own polytunnel. For the plan is to build it for about £30, because we've got big hoop frames from trampolines and extra legs from trampolines and things like that, and we can get in some old wooden doors and all the little bits and bobs we need for free, and then all we need to do is buy the plastic, which is the greenhouse quality plastic. To cover it should be about between 25 and 30 quid. We're planning, all of our plans are focused on this, and if we get any more space, be it here or further down, then that's fantastic, but we've got to plan for this. So we'll have this polytunnel here, we've got the little greenhouse. What we do have is the big greenhouse from the other plot, because we are giving up the big plot. Well, we say about November or something, but we may as well leave it until January when our contract is up, and then we can dig up some of the raspberries and things like that whilst they're dormant, which would be better. But it's just, there's so much bindweed there. We can't get up there often enough because I don't drive and it's miles and miles away. So yeah, it's just not productive for us. By the time we've weeded and then gone back, it's just a state again, and all the plants are smothered, and there's no water up there, and in years like this year really felt it. So we've got some potatoes left up there, some sweet corn, squash, and the Savoy cabbages are doing really well, but that's it from the whole plot. Well, it's a plot and a half. So we're going to give that up. We're going to focus on this. So we're going from technically a plot and a half up there, and this half plot, so that's 2 plots, down to a half plot. Fingers crossed we'll get a double plot, a full plot, but we don't know. So it means we're going to have to be much more efficient in how we grow, planning the succession of sowings more, but what can you do? That whole site is going to be dug up in a year anyway, so just spending another year wasting the petrol, wasting the water, wasting the energy, running up and down to that, it doesn't make any sense. So we'll concentrate on this one because we live like just over there, and I can come up like 3 or 4 times a day if I want to, grab some time by myself. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to go and try and get these leeks covered now, the new ones, and then I'm going to do a bit of weeding and help Alan with getting the roof on the greenhouse, and I think we will just leave it at that today because I think the battery's running out on the laptop and Rue is not in the mood to be at the allotment. So I'll go pick some beans and take some beetroot home to pickle and get some more radish for a salad, and I think we're done for the day. So thanks for watching. Hello to all the new subscribers, and we will be doing more videos as and when I actually remember to edit them. I'm filming them, I'm just not editing them because I'm rubbish. So thanks for watching, guys, and give this a like, and please do subscribe if you haven't done so yet. So I'll see you soon. Happy growing, bye bye. A little PS on the end. We have a greenhouse. Ta-da! Hello, Roo. Rue's made a grand job of mucking this path up. Lovely. I harvested some beetroots for pickle later today. Got a curry squash, 4 sweet corn. Sorry, get this blooming thing out of the way. I got some beans and some tomatoes that were splitting. So they're not quite ripe, but I picked them anyway. What else have I done? I got frame the net around the brassicas, but it didn't quite fit, so we kind of got a bodge job on that side with some fleece, but it's protected. This is my lazy leek covering for now. Got these, you can see these wire frames which put 2 together. That'll do that. That's done. Another frame there ready to use. And I think that's it for today. It's 4:30 and we've got to go and pick something up off recycle. And you're done. He's just put the door on as well. Ta-da! Absolutely done. Brilliant. Pick something up off recycle and do something else that I can't remember, and then I'm going to go home, hopefully drink a beer and relax. You did it. We did it. You did it. Alan did it. I have a greenhouse. It needs cleaning. You see how mucky it is? So I think me and Ree will be coming over tomorrow with some brushes. I'll give this a good clean down and bring the pepper plants over. And also I need to bring some masking tape. Well, the cold frame needs washing, and I need to bring some masking tape to mask off the plastic, and then get some wood paint on. So, and that will go stand next to the greenhouse in the gap there. So yeah, does it slide? If I push it, is it going to fall down? Ta-da! Yay! Love you. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. That was just a little update of my harvest and what we've achieved since I finished the video last time. So we'll speak to you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Hello.